It is a beautiful Thursday, and I'm very, very much delighted. We are still fresh in the month of Women's Day celebration, that is March. So we have to take a whole month appreciating the woman in our lives. And at this moment, before even doing any other thing, allow me to introduce Rona Namatovu, who is a psychologist, but at the same time, she is a woman. And she always gives us time to come and be with us on Back to Basics to discuss different topics. But because of the Women's Month, I take this pleasure to specially welcome her in that capacity of a woman.
Oh,
this time not as a psychologist, we shall go back to that later, but as a woman. Rona Namatovu, you're very much welcome.
Thank you so much, Moses.
Clad in white.
Because we are celebrating.
That's an angelic color, right?
Yeah, we are celebrating women.
Yes.
And this is major for all of us, even for men. Because I'm sure every man has like a daughter, a sister, a mother, a wife. So definitely, Women's Day is not just for women, but for everyone else out there in the world. So happy Women's Day once again, and happy Women's Month to all the women out there.
Thank you very much. It is very important, and Rona, I think me, you, and everyone listening to us will all agree that we should take time and reflect on this woman in our life. Maybe your mother, maybe your wife, maybe your daughter, but a woman, and we say thank you, because honestly, women do a lot.
True.
A lot in our lives, in nurturing us, in making us who we are, taking care of us. But then apart from that, also in the development of the country. So that's why this show we've started, especially at First Recognized Woman. And you may be wondering why it take all this time, but because Rona, in the month of March, this is her first time to appear here. And therefore, we decided to specially celebrate with her and recognize and appreciate the woman out there. But this is Back to Basics, and it comes live on Bethan TV for Health. Back to Basics is that topic where we get experts in different fields and try to examine different areas, but above all, go back to the principles of life, the principles of that area. What can someone do in order to get the basic knowledge that will propel that person to better? That's why it's called Back to Basics. You're very much welcome wherever you're tuned in, live on GoTV, free to air, Star Times, but also on different social media platforms. We have X, we have YouTube, also on our website, www.bethantv.ug, but also Bethan TV for Health is available on different mobile applications, from mobile app, Airtel TV, and Yo TV. This is like that, such that you should not miss any of the program that come on Bethan TV for Health. On our YouTube channels, do not forget always subscribe and hit that notification. In that case, you will never miss out on any of the important programs that come on Bethan TV for Health. My name is Moses once again, and I'm very happy to be your host of your favorite show, Back to Basics. And this Thursday, like we started with appreciating woman, we want to take time and reflect on this important woman. Now, if we are to look at where the woman comes from and the progress and all the steps the woman has taken to evolve from that traditional woman that we used to know was in the kitchen and cooking and restricted only to those roles around home, to a modern woman who is participating in each and every activity, doing things that men are supposed to do, but even more in regard to the gender equality. We really see that there is a lot. But then we also remember that there are cases, there are things that are purely supposed to be done by women. For example, carrying a child. It's biologically and from God's design. However much our role is to support and help this lady, this woman, but the carrying, the 9 months, is specifically designed for a woman. But then we see in the modern lives, the modern woman, apart from, on top of that, there are other things which are added on. Women these days also bring bread to the table. Sometimes they are even supporting the family, sometimes more than men. And men take a relaxed, I don't know if that's true, take a relaxed position, and the woman is maybe earning more and supporting the family, and the family is okay. But then we want to reflect and see, is this woman strong enough
to handle all that?
To handle all that. The woman roles that are specific to women, but also the added roles as a result of the evolution. And also looking at how does this affect her mental health. And that's why in the studio we have Rona Namatov once again. The other first time I had introduced her as a woman, but she is a counseling psychologist and comes with a lot of experience. Like I always say, she's very passionate, especially in helping and supporting people to have a very positive mental health state. So Rona, you're very much welcome.
Thank you so much, Moses, and for that wonderful introduction. I'm sure for someone who has just joined in, they get to understand where we are coming from. Because at some point, when you put the topic out there as a evolution versus a woman and her mental health, someone is going to be like, but we love this part of us.
Yes.
We want to be out there. We want to be CEOs. We want to take up spaces. Yes, we are not saying we should not take up the spaces, but our concern is, as you're taking up these spaces, how is your mental health? Because like you well introduced, your roles as a woman are not going to reduce, and they're not going to change. You're tailored as a woman with different hormones from those hormones of a man. You understand?
Yes.
So even your roles, you have roles as a woman. You're going to find that even in nature, you're a nurturer. There are things you do differently. So you find that this evolution, like you said, we are no longer in the kitchen so much, we are also pushing. But as you push, you should appreciate yourself as a woman. Tofuka musajja. We have people who feel like what a man can do, a woman can do. Like you also say, you mentioned.
Yes.
What a man can do, at some point, a woman can also do. But with not with a bit of difficult. Not the same way a man is going to do something. These days, this evolution where women are in positions of leadership, positions of doing so much more. Osanga omukyala waka ayagala ateekeyo ettaala, ayagala yaba fixing olugi. You understand? You find that, like, in my head, I'm like, are you happy doing all those things? You find women doing roles of omukyala alayinga matafali, they are bricklayer as a woman.
Yes.
You're a woman, you're supposed to be soft. The hormone inside you does not guarantee you to do certain things. And it doesn't make you weak. So that's why we are here. We are here to understand. As we celebrate ourselves as women, we are here to understand ourselves that it is okay for a woman to do things a certain way. Not just the way that society is imposing certain things on us. Okitegeera oli mukyala omukyala alina okuba omugumu. Yes, tuli bagumu, but in our own bracket ng'abakyala. Okitegeera waliwo ebintu ebimu nga si byabakyala. So that's where you find that your mental health is being compromised. The whole time you're flourishing. Yes, we are clapping for you. Yes, you're doing well. But how is your mental health? Because the mental health is more of how we think, but first and foremost, how we feel. You understand?
Yes.
How you're going to feel, how you think, and how you're going to act. So on the outside, you're flourishing, you're doing all these things. We see you and you're like, oh, that woman is strong. That woman is successful. But how do you feel on the inside? That's where you find us asking the question, is that strong woman really strong enough to handle all this pressure that is being put on her? Because we don't take it as pressure as per se, because we feel like society is celebrating us like that.
So our concern is not the physical strength we are talking about, but the impact
on our emotional
the inside,
well-being.
the emotional
Yes.
well-being of this woman
Yes.
who is hailed as someone who's doing things for a man and even more. And then because of society, she is kind of happy because she's being celebrated
outside.
on the outside, but you don't know
What is going on, in the inside. Because you find
That's
that
interesting. Yeah.
you find that most of us, we are raised by strong women. You understand?
Yeah.
But where is this strength coming from? You find people pushing so much to work hard, but like to work hard and succeed. But when you sit down with them in a space that is safe to understand them, where does your passion come from? Why are you passionate about doing A, B, C, and D? Where is your purpose coming from? What is that one thing that pushes you to just go ahead and work, to just go ahead and do all these things? You're going to find out that it is the trauma. Maybe my father was not present growing up. You understand?
Yes.
Maybe this happened and you're pushing so much to prove however much this and this happened to me, I'm much better than that. Not all the women that are pushing out there really love to push, but they have the unresolved trauma. I'm not saying that all the women,
Yes.
but I'm here, like I said, for us to understand ourselves and so that we can celebrate ourselves better.
Yes.
Don't let your celebration of success or of life be measured by society. That maybe if I'm not in the Forbes 40 under 40, yet by this time I've failed. Because society is pushing and showing you what other women are doing. You understand? And this is somehow taking a toll on your mental health at the same time. You understand the whole bit of the evolution and its impact on the woman's mental health. So, are you strong enough? Are you okay? That is my concern as a mental health expert. I was seeing the theme for this Women's Month, rather 8th March Women's Day celebration theme was invest in women, accelerate progress, which I feel like is a good thing. Because if at all women are invested in and they can get their hands to do certain things, definitely there is going to be progress, not just for the woman, but for the whole nation and the whole world at large. But you find that this progress is not going to be possible. Or it is going to be possible, but at what cost?
At what cost?
At what cost? That's the reason we are here.
And I think the dilemma would be that cost, if the cost heavily impacts on that woman's mental health, the inside. Outside, yes, would look at Rona, she's successful, she's doing this. Gamba, ay, oyo muwala, alingo musajja.
And it is bad. Tetulina kubanga abasajja.
You have to remain
Tulina osigala nga abakyala. Yes.
But you have that freedom. So the evolution should be about the freedom.
The evolution should be about understanding ourselves in that, yes, we have evolved from the kitchen. That's a good thing. Yes, the opportunities are here. It is a wonderful thing. Yes, we can do A, B, C, and D. It is wonderful. But you have to
compete equally with men on something.
which is yes, it's out there, but honestly, I love being a woman and I don't want to compete with a man. I want to let the man lead.
Okay, so, but the competition I'm talking about is, let's take example of the students. For different courses, you know, there was this notion before engineering courses and
they're for men. Oh yes, yes.
But then now we see
that even a woman can actually handle that, and that's amazing. Yes,
I'm talking about that competition.
Yes,
not,
it's amazing.
Not the
feminism. No, that one I don't want it. Also, women should remain as women. It is good for you to go out there and prosper, but you should understand why am I doing this. Can I handle this? Is this for me? Or I'm doing this because I'm actually a strong woman. I'm pushing to show I'm strong, I have the muscle. The truth is, certain things, for us, we have the hormone called estrogen. And that's what makes us a woman. That's the reason you see I don't have beards. You understand? That's the reason you see that the woman's body is going to be soft.
Yeah.
And you find a woman carrying something. Like, there are certain things that are not for you. There is a reason as why your voice is soft. You understand?
Yes.
So this bit of struggling for success has put us off that lane of our own femininity, of being a woman, that now we are more of men. And that is not where we are supposed to be. That's the reason you find that they say that person has worked hard, she has gone to school, and they assume, and at some point they are right. Someone is 40 years or 40 plus, they don't have a family. For a woman, it is strange. Because in nature, you're supposed to be a nurturer. You're supposed to have the babies. So, but this evolution, you're an engineer, you have to go back and upgrade, you're sleeping on the site. You understand? It is turning you into a man. And that is not you. That's why you're going to find that you may have the money, but you're not going to be happy. So the
which in
objective
turn gets to your mental health.
Yes.
Okay.
So the objective of the show today is we are looking at the mental health of these women. Yes, we love the progress. We want to see the women flourishing, but we are looking at how are you? How are you as a woman? Your career is going to flourish. All those things are going to flourish at some point, but how are you?
Well said, Rona, and thank you for adding more clarification to it. And if we are to analyze this woman now, the modern woman, the one who has fully evolved, definitely we are going to look at the process of evolution and what are some of the challenges. But let us look at this woman now, Rona, who is fully evolved and he's emancipated. And what are some of the challenges? What are some of the gaps that this woman faces in her quest for being fully evolved and emancipation and doing those roles added on to her above the normal roles the woman should be having? What do you think this evolved woman go through in her life?
The challenge is, number one, it's going to be relationships. I'm not saying it's hard for the strong women as the women striving for progress to attain or sustain relationships, but even when you're in a relationship, you're going to find abasajja batutya oba abasajja batya abakyala abalina nti you're assertive.
You must have an experience, but it's okay.
It's because I don't want people to feel like I'm just pushing it out on them. But when you have a realistic conversation with women, mostly women who are doing something for themselves, you find that abakyala bwabanga ina n'emmotoka atya omusajja okumanya nti alina emmotoka. Newe mubanga mutudde wano aba, let me say it's the first time you're meeting, ayagala omusajja asooka agende oba yamule okitegeera, so that the man doesn't find out. I've heard it from different people.
Okay.
Nti omusajja bw'anaamanya nti you have the car, agenda awulira nti they are small. Wazimbye, oyina kye weekoleddeko, omusajja agamba kati ono ngenda mutandikirawo. Okitegeera, toyina ngeri gy'omulimba nti tugendeko ku date. You understand? That's what is going to be like in the man's mind. They're thinking, I can't afford this woman. They're thinking, this woman doesn't need me as much. This woman is so independent. So in that, even when a woman says something, oyo mukazi amanyira. So buli bwabanga o evolving, kubanga kati fe, the truth is women are multipliers. You understand?
Yes.
That's the reason you find that the businesses that are headed by women, for us we dedicate, we commit, like it's natural. We are nurturers. You're going to go and just pipeline, like you get all those gaps together. Like men are so physical, And the advantage they also have is that they're not so emotional. Like they have their advantages. But I'm saying in most cases, the reality as this evolution is coming in and women are progressing and prospering, you find that if you find a successful woman, they are really successful. They have gone to school, they are making their money, they have their property. Like they have these things at a young age at a certain point. Nga n'omusajja tannabifuna. Kati omukyalo yafuna nnyo obuzibu okufuna omusajja. Nti ne bw'aba amufunye, you find that the man is not going to feel like they are man enough in the relationship. To the point, omuntu bw'abanga takumanyi, bw'abanga akulaba wano ku TV, agenda lowooza Rona yeeraga. Because they already have that image of, I feel like she's too much. So that's the challenge women are getting. Relationships.
So potential men are scared.
They're scared of,
to approach
they get
and
scared.
maybe propose and date such women who seem to have evolved and they are a step ahead in terms of owning property, in terms of career growth, and that progress and to you, you're saying that is something that
it's a challenge. It's a big challenge.
Because if your potential shooters keep getting scared, definitely, like you say, it goes
your
back
mental health.
to your mental health.
It's going to be disorganized.
Shall we take a break, Rona? We'll come back and continue from looking at things that happen in the life of this evolved woman, and you've mentioned one of them, but for now let's take a very short break. We are still discussing, looking at the instances, looking into the evolution of a woman, but assessing it against her mental health. For now, let's take a break and we shall come back. A dilemma or challenges that this modern woman faces. And Rona had said in the first place, if this success comes to a woman before getting married, getting
even
a suitor,
after, even when they are married, the moment you start getting money, you get a promotion at a job, your man is going to look at you. Eh, kachonziramu, never toyogena choyogede. It intimidates me.
Sometimes we do appreciate, we relax that's, and enjoy that progress, use
we are
that
not
money
saying,
and
Moses, the truth is, this thing, we are not saying that you people don't appreciate. You don't support the women, but we are talking about the reality. Unconsciously, things are going to change if you're dealing with a successful woman. Yes.
But there would be an issue of submission also. And you find
because how am I going to be earning, let me say, like a lot of money more than you, and
then you
I'm tired. No, I'm from work. I'm tired. I work like long hours, because this is the reality. You find that for that success to be sustained, for those people who are making all that, you find that there is a price to it. So you're not going to balance. I was watching a video for some Pepsi manager, but she's Indian. So she was saying on this journey of success, you find that your work at some point takes up most of the time. And then you focus on your work and your children. Then, Bambi, you think about your husband. Last, you understand? Yeah. So it is not going to be so much of easy to balance that work and your other life. And
in that case, I think a man, you're supposed to stand in the gap. If a woman is working longer hours, if a woman is working longer hours,
I'm just joking.
And she comes late, she has meetings, she has night Zoom meetings, no time to, then, and for you, a man, you have much time, then that means you would stand in the gap. And I think that's where
the challenge
can also start from. But you were still telling us what are some of the things that this modern woman faces.
The first one was relationship challenges. Then the second one is abuse.
Abuse from?
Abuse, domestic violence, domestic abuse.
So a successful
if a man cannot control you, they're intimidated by you. They don't know how to tame you. Some of them, you find that a man is beating you not because you've wronged them, but you came in late, your phone is ringing, but it is work at some point. But this man cannot take it. They feel like now you're like the man in the house.
So if a man can't control you, can't beat you financially, can't beat you intellectually, then sexually, then he resorts to physical beating. That's the violence you're talking about. This is very absurd.
But like you've broken it down very well. If the man cannot beat you.
Because men always want to be controlling in order
no,
for
they are leaders.
They are leaders.
Yes. So they want to lead so that you can follow. But you find that you're intellectually better than this man.
Yes.
You're financially well. Maybe he's even sleeping in your house. You understand? So it is also
definitely
hard for
with
him.
all those things not available to a man, his sexual strength and confidence goes down completely.
Sure. Which is sad for both the man and the woman, because it's not the aim. We don't work hard so that we can belittle our
this
men.
Is where
but
now
it is
a man, I think, will start thinking, because remember, this is now a man who sexually is seeing things are not moving on well, but this is the woman who is flying to different trips and because of her busy nature, she may not feel the need for sex. Don't you think a man now would think, is this lady still faithful?
So, like I said, this evolution comes at a cost. But in most cases, when there is no understanding, you find that there is that bit of abuse that I'm talking about, and it is real. Because you've come back with a new car. Like, where did you get money? But they know you're working. Like, the man is also disorganized, and that in turn, their mental health is affected, but also your mental health as well.
Is also affected.
Is also affected.
Is that abuse two-way? Also, because you have fame, you have this nice job, and you're feared in the community, a woman, and your man, unfortunately, hasn't gotten to that level.
Why using unfortunately?
Yeah, because as like we're saying also, men, we shouldn't be left behind. And you said as a leader, a man is supposed to also kind of at least compete in those things to be able to lead. But now I'm still on your point of abuse. You said because a man feels inferior, he cannot beat the woman financially in all those things, he may turn physical. Do you think also some women may now misinterpret that fame? Yeah.
And start using it.
Abuse
the
man.
Okay, I would say
denying sex, for example, and other sorts of kinds of
things.
Abuse. Yes,
I would say with this evolution and progress, career growth, as you're doing all these things, I feel like what we started, like how we started, we have the estrogen hormone within us women that makes us soft, that makes us want to love. So I'm going to attain all these things, but somehow my life is not complete.
True.
I want to be with the family, I want to be with my man. But still, again, on that point of abuse from the success of a woman on the man's mental health, you find that it is unconscious. The abuse can be unconscious, or it can be really directed on the man.
Yes.
But that's two different things. And I'm not saying that some women don't do it. Women are there who actually use this privilege to abuse the relationship. But still, even before the woman takes that step, unconsciously, the man is already intimidated by the woman's success. This is something that I want us to understand. We are not saying that all men are going to take it like, the moment my woman is successful, I can't tame her. What I'm trying to portray is, it's going to take a lot of maturity and commitment in the relationship for a man to understand that my woman may be, let me say, the president of the country. She may be in a very big position of power, but she's still my woman. But we have to find a way to move around it. omukyala abeera ng'ali mu kiyungu ng'afumba n'omukyala abeera ku business trips, they are going to need different approaches
in their families,
and their husbands. Most of the time we say, when you reach home, leave your job, leave work at that doorstep. You understand? Definitely, people are doing those things. You leave work at that doorstep, but the moment you get home, you find that still your man is going to be like, maybe I wasn't able to get the tuition of what? Of the children, maybe. And the woman is like, it's okay, I'll sort that. And the moment you say, I'll sort that, a man is going to be like, just like that. I've failed, so you're showing me you have more power, and you have more potential. And then you're like,
if I reflect in secondary, you would find that girls were like head girls in those positions, or like best in performing. You would find that they are not socially
accepted.
Yes, to others. So you find that there are other cliques.
Yes.
And the boys, in that level, nothing much. It wasn't like something serious, but the normal social interaction of having a friend with a girl close and what. You find they are kind of socially
isolated.
And, yes, because of the power they have. Now imagine that is just a head girl.
Imagine, they don't even own anything. And that's that actually brings us to the third challenge. Successful people get. It is very hard to actually be successful. Even in the social groups, you're going to be intimidating. Not because you actually want to wear that garment of what you do, but because unconsciously it already puts other people in a position of obali tweragirako oba yalowooza amanyi nnyo. Okitegera? So you find that yes, we are pushing women to positions of power, but are we yet ready to accept and accommodate them when they are powerful? That's a question to ask. You're pushing your woman to go back to school, you're sponsoring them to start a business, but are you ready to accommodate that success when the time comes? Because what we are talking about is real. These people's mental health is actually compromised. You find that these successful women are telling you, I don't have friends. I can't trust them. The moment you get a friend, they're looking at you like, this person thinks she's better than us. They're jealous of you. They want what you have. You understand?
Yes.
So this success is there, but it is at a cost. And at some point, you find the cost is their mental health. You find successful women, and for us, the challenge we get is that behind the closed doors is when you're going to know that this person that is very much respected and all that, they're spending time maybe drinking alcohol. The bottle is now the friend. The bottle is now the confidant. Yes, they're going to show up at work, do what they're supposed to do, because yes, they're good at what they're doing, but it is not enough. It is not enough. Somewhere. There is a gap. Like that balance of your personal growth, your social life, then your career. So it becomes like a whole lot on you. And these things are real. Like you said, you used a good example of a heady girl. So the moment someone lands, hey, she works on TV. Like me, sometimes, like people would say, this and this and that, like about you, but you may remain calm, but already people have another view about it. They feel like now they're intimidated. They would feel you're better than them. Imagine a mere heady girl and you're getting all that friction.
That now, same age, same class in some times, but then there's that, which naturally comes.
Now imagine if you're a member of parliament, you go back to your village, you know people can even run away from you. Because they feel like they cannot be on the same level with you. So that's the point. We are empowering these women into spaces of power, but can we separate that this is work and this is me as a person? You understand? That's what we need to, we need to actually celebrate them. So when you celebrate someone, you understand them. So we talk about International Women's Day celebration, but we do not celebrate women. We are intimidated by these women at some point. We try to put the women down. After you being the stepping stone, you're the same person telling them, but you're the same person saying women are strong, women can do this. But because in the return, you're not ready to sustain or accommodate that it is okay for a woman, just a mere woman, to be driving a Benz, a big Jeep, because they've worked for it and they've earned it.
Thank you, Rona. We're still discussing at the strength of a woman in the face of evolution and looking at the evolved woman, the modern woman, and the mental health. One thing that, and you've given us some of the challenges and dilemma that they face. I know it can be quite a number, but we'll, for now, we use those in interest of time. But I just want to ask you, Rona, have we seen some of these? You've given a very good illustration that on the outside, on the physical, because of the successes, because of the things, the outlooks, and you know when you lady have some money, how you can be looking, imported hair.
You go to sauna, even that everything is different.
Even those who are natural, but you can see that
money is good.
Yes, you can see that the dollar
this person
is
has
speaking.
money.
Yes, and then you've said the impact may not be there for us to see physically with our eyes. But then you're saying from the psychology point of view that there is an effect or an impact on one's mental health, on that woman's mental health. Have we seen some of these effects coming out or manifesting in this evolved woman, and what are some of the things that from the psychology point of view?
Okay, that's a very brilliant question, because mental health is something on the inside, but mental health comes from the inside out. How you feel, how you think is going to go from how you've felt to how you've felt, thought and acted or behaved. So it is inside, but it is going to be reflected on the outside. How? Here's a good example. You find that this woman is maybe stressed or overwhelmed at work, then they have to go back home and they have to do other duties as a woman. But the stress is inside, that is inside mental health, yes. But on the outside, how are we going to see their mental health? The projection. You bring your projection of anger from work to the children, maybe. You find that in quotes, these people don't have time for the children. In quotes, they say those successful people don't have time for their families or don't have time for their children. But you find that they try to provide. They're actually available in the house, but they're not present because themselves, they're dealing with so much.
Yes.
So you find that they are detached from
reality,
home, and they are so much attached to work. And that is already a sign of their mental health is not okay. Your mental health, one of the things that shows that your mental health is flourishing is when you're flourishing in all aspects of your life. If you're flourishing at work, but you're not flourishing at home, your mental health is not okay. If you're flourishing at work, but you don't have a social life, still, your mental health is not okay. So you find that these strong, successful women are flourishing at work, but at home, they're not flourishing. That's one of the things you can see, that their mental health is coming from the inside to the outside. Omwana wajja tayagala kwogera naye talina budde. That's one way. Another way, you find that
talina budde relies on maids and house helps to
help them,
help the child, or sometimes just facilitates. If the children have grown a little bit, just gives money, go out,
go do this.
and you
They
find
don't
the kids
follow
are
up that
actually
much.
having a blast on themselves, but
Yes.
in the wrong direction.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're spot on. Yeah.
Yes. So the mental health still, it can be on the inside, but it's going to come out on the outside. Like you said, in most cases, when someone has money, the money is going to show. But have you seen people with money? Nayenga yena akoze. In most cases, betubanga your strength jetwogerako okola nnyo, ononya sente, okola kino, you find that the money is there, omutono ayambala engoye bisuza bbeeyi, emotoka weeri, kale that life you can look at and be like, hey bambi. But you look at them physically. Nga ye nyini teyerabiridde. They are not taking good care of themselves. The only time they have is to work. So if at all the mental health is just on the inside, certain things like that one is going to bring them out on the outside. You find that somehow you're going to see this person and you'll be like, something is not right with them. Yes.
Well, one of these phrases, I don't know if that can connect to some of the effects that come from inside, like you said, but there are these phrases where you find that umwara, like you look at, and I don't mean you, Rona, but a lady like Rona, beautiful as she is, but then saying Zaba Sajja, some of those phrases maybe coming from what you had explained first, of where, because of the fame and where she has progressed and reached, the shooters, that the people that she would want are scared. And he is not getting people to approach, and then you find that now she has instead redirected all her energy, all her thoughts, not to have a man. Do you think that can also, does that
mentally,
come from,
yes,
affect mentally if you suppress something that you know is right?
Yes.
Because of those circumstances, you just say no.
The truth is, the truth of the matter, I know women are going to hate me for this, but the truth is, Katonda yachikola, ti Adam yamutonda nani? Nekawa. Ti Adam aline Eve.
Yes.
Okitegeera. Nga we tugambye nti mental health y'omuntu okubeera nga eri bulungi, tetusinziirako, nga at least mu buli field y'obulamu bwabwe bali ku flourishinga. Togenda kungamba nti nno oyina emyaka 5, but just because you have money but you don't have a man, you're happy. Obeera oli kulimba.
On both fronts.
On both fronts.
From the church point of view, from the biblical point of view, and the example
and the psychological point
of view, and I think biological point of view.
Biological. Because as we develop, as we grow, Katonda waliwo ensonga lwaki kati omukyala bw'atuuka nga akuze oyina ebbeere, okitegeera, oyina the behind, oyina the face, okitegeera, byonna Katonda ayina ensonga lwaki abireeta, mu budde mwabireetera, nti bw'oba wali 10 years tewali nga bw'oli kati ng'oli 20 something, okitegeera, kyova olaba nti ate bw'otuuka 50 bakugamba oluusi tokyasobola kusitula mwana. Kitegeeza nti mu buli bw'okula buli stage gy'oyitamu waliwo ebintu ebirina okubeerawo mu eyo stage. Kati ebintu ebyo bitabeerawo mu eyo stage, it's going to affect you, your hormones, yes, but also your mental health. Nti fena bakyala, bino ebintu twagala sente, tuzinoonya, twagala oba successful. Naye sente zo tezisobola kugulira mwana. Esente ezo tezisobola kugulira musajja. Buli mukyala yandyagadde n'abeerawo n'agamba I have a man, because in nature that is the way it is. Waliwo ebbanga lyotuukako nga olina okuba n'omwami. Kati gwe bw'oddaawo n'olowooza nti career yo ekuwaga. I'm talking to that caliber. Gwe n'ogamba nti my career is everything, I may not need a man, my career, you're pushing for your career. Trust me, family is very, very key for our mental health. Ogenda kwetu kogambe kati, what am I working for? Nobeerawo nga tolina muntu gosobola kugambako kizibu kyo. You don't have anyone who is responsible for you. Okuze otuuse ne ku myaka bazaddewo bonna bawedde mu nsi. N'omusajja tolina. because you think you have money. No medicine. Teri ddagala lye bagenda kuwa. Teri therapy gye bagenda kuwa. Egenda okureplacing omusajja. Because it is also natural. Omusajja alina kuba omukyala alina okufuna ki? Omwami. Nti abakyala gye bali, yes, they are successful, naye ng'ekimusanyusa ayagala abeereko awo abeere ku mulimu, bamukubireko essimu. Baby, are you okay? Ako ka baby, are you okay? Your man is not going to tell you that.
Sente tesobola kugamba you okay. Abeegulira ebimuli ne babyepositingira ne bukomawo. But to show that
you have
satisfy
a man.
The society that there is a man in my life.
Because a man is important. Wow.
Very, very interesting, Rona. We're trying to conclude our show, but I just want us to touch on how should a woman embrace this evolution to make sure that there is a balance, especially or in regard to her mental health.
Yes. So, to my beautiful women, my sisters, my mothers, I was about to say my daughters.
No jukira nti.
Let's jukira. Sinaba. But the message and the objective for the show is, it is a very big gift to be a woman.
Yeah.
You don't know how, like, for abachala katonda yatuwesa emikono ebiri. Everything katonda inenge yakiteekateekeramu abachala. So we celebrate you so much, and tewesa bbeeyi, omukyala abeera wa bbeeyi. Don't stop loving on yourself. Don't stop believing in yourself. You can actually attain all those things. But in the process of attaining those things, how do we get the balance? The balance is actually very hard. That's the truth. But you have to understand that this is what I need and this is what I want.
Yes.
What you want is the money.
Okay.
You want the lavish life. But what do you need? In the long run, you're going to need the kids. You're going to need the husband.
Yes. Rona, I'm sorry, our time is well spent, and I beg to end our discussion today. I know this is very insightful. We can go on and on and on. But thank you very much for showing up, and thank you very much for your time, and to give us insights on really what happens. Mental health is very important.
Yes.
And in whatever happens.
Actually, as we close, sorry, but the whole summary of it, whatever thing that costs your mental health is too expensive. So if you find that your career is costing your mental health, it is not worth it. Anything that is right for you has to be right for your mental health. I think that one statement can
summarize.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Well said. Thank you, Rona. And being Rona and I are discussing the strength of a woman in the face of evolution versus her mental health. Thank you very much for being part of this, and see you next time. From me and Rona, we say
good night.
Good night, and God bless you.